So a pirate walks into a bar and he has a parrot on his shoulder and a steering wheel on his belt buckle. So he goes up and he orders a drink and he goes, "Oh, mate, you got a parrot, and what's the deal here?" And he goes, "Oh, don't worry about the steering wheel, it's driving me nuts." So welcome to episode 20.
Classic.
Funniness is a long gun.
I might not have been listening.
Where the jokes
properly.
don't make sense and the sense don't make jokes.
Hi.
Welcome back. Okay, so I just got here. I don't have much of an idea of what's on the agenda, but I know that it has been another week, so we need another update.
Another installment.
And it's good to be back, by the way. Thanks for noticing my absence.
Oh, that's right, you weren't here.
Indeed, I wasn't.
Didn't notice.
It's good to be back, though. Hey, folks.
Were you supposed to shower you with praise and everything for not showing up?
Well,
How many times have I not showed up?
How many times have you not shown up? Kevin had to do it all by his
Although
own.
you did have the...
Actually, once I was in New Zealand.
You phoned it in with that video.
I did phone it in with the video.
So it was like
very
you were
last
fun
week.
to you.
I was here in spirit.
Although I was going to say, when you film like landscape, not portrait-wise.
I don't know. It was on
Or
my
you see what
phone.
happens.
I was trying to perpetuate the whole Snapchat thing, you know.
It was like an artistic...
Yeah, let's go with that. Something like that. So anyway, how's everyone's week been? What's been happening?
Well, I was going to say before we move on to anything else, that time of week. Ongoing coverage.
Ongoing coverage.
Of the MH370
Yeah.
disappearance, alright? You guys almost forgot, right? We made a vow to update everyone each
Well,
week.
all this drama about the MH17, it's completely forgot. Was that their intention?
We never promised on following up on the
Misdirection.
MH17, so we don't have to worry about that.
Indeed.
We didn't promise to.
It worried me.
Coincidence.
And it's almost resolved. They know exactly where it crashed.
It's not this video, exactly.
But anyway, before we even talk about that, alright, update MH370. They still haven't found it.
No.
Okay, so guys, can you continue with what you were talking about?
I plumb forgot. Alright, so I had an interesting week. Actually, it wasn't that interesting at all. I made some toast daily.
I saw something. It was a glass toaster, so you could see through it. And
That's quite interesting.
you put steaks into this like a little pocket thing, and then you put it
toaster.
in. Yeah, and then it cooks your steak in this glass toaster.
Wow. That's
Isn't
quite
that something?
Is it mechanical? How does it work?
No, what's a non-mechanical toaster?
No, but like, so how are you seeing just the steak? You're obviously seeing all the gears and everything inside it as well, right?
Yeah, so the steak goes in this glass little
vision.
pouch, and then the glass pouch goes into this glass toaster. Costs
Right.
about $3,000, but easy.
3,000
way to get
only.
steak.
Nice. Can you actually make toast with it?
No.
Well, moving on then. What was your week, Matt?
Well, I made breakfast today too. I made more poached eggs. I'm getting better and better at every time. I've got it down where it doesn't get too runny where I pull it out and it falls apart, but it is just solid enough that when you put your knife in, it'll,
Nice.
That's how I make eggs. I like them nice and runny.
Nice.
So I made some poached eggs.
With vinegar.
Yeah. What is there anything else you can use other than vinegar to put
Yeah,
together?
I saw this thing. They put just water in, and then they spin the water, so it's like a little vortex, like
They
a
use a
whirlpool.
glass saucepan.
And then they just put it in the middle, and
$3,000.
it just, as it boils, it just stays together because it's in this little vortex.
Oh, nice.
Cool. It's like how the
Could you do that
toilet
with
flushes.
several eggs in the same thing though?
No, that's the downside.
Okay.
Unless you want just one egg of fucking poached.
You know what I hate? When you're making bacon and eggs at the same time, and like one sticks to the other. So like the bacon's ready, the eggs quite aren't ready though. So you have to like rip half of the eggs out in the process.
And it might ruin the yolk while you're doing it.
Yeah, it definitely ruins the yolk every time. Pretty much, if I ruin the yolk, I'll just like throw the shit in the bin and then start again.
I tried to make some poached eggs drunk the other night and I went through fucking 5 eggs.
I thought you meant like you're feeding poached eggs alcohol. Like you're trying to make them drunk. Like, hang on.
Drink!
But I had to put a bunch in the sink because I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna put broken yolk.
It's just not eggs unless it's got runny yolk. It's
Well,
just, it's
Kevin's actually
strange
got,
otherwise.
we covered this in episode 1 or 2. Kevin's got a different ideal for eggs.
Yeah. Different situations. Well, when you get to like a poached egg on toast, you need that runniness, I think.
Yeah.
Especially poached, you just steam or boil the hell out of it.
But fried,
when
you
you not
like
need a
with
runny
fried,
egg,
you like the
though.
yolk and the white to mix
When
as
you,
much as possible.
if I fry an egg to put on something, I need it like in a solid state.
Really? It's just it ruins the flavour for me.
We take a bite,
almost
there's like
chalky.
yolk everywhere and shit.
Yeah, that's the
That's
way.
the
Well, no, it's not so much the runniness, it's that you don't even like the yolk in the centre. You like it to kind of like
This is
mash
true as well.
the white.
Apparently the yolk's
remember
the
that,
most
I do.
like unhealthy part though. Like not that I care. Sorry to cut in there. I was still stuck on yolks, egg yolks. So are they?
What?
I've heard that the yellow part is actually really unhealthy in things.
It's not really unhealthy. It's just that the whites are healthier, I think.
Right. So it probably doesn't affect you unless you're like in your late 50s or something.
Some people eat just the yolks.
Just the yolks?
Yeah, like stack it up and down, like power lifters and shit.
Oh, like Bruce Lee. Yeah. It's the power drink. But no, I think that's the whole egg.
Right.
I'm a big fan of eggs, though. If I were a vegetarian, then eggs would be my saving grace. Eggs would be the thing. I'd be like, thank God I can still eat that. That would be my only blessing if I was a vegetarian. Oh well, bread as well, but you can't just eat that much bread and pasta. It's you get fat, so it just But eggs, I'd still be able to enjoy them.
Vodka's quite good too.
Oh yeah, that's
fan
right.
of vodka.
I wonder if you can somehow make alcoholic scrambled eggs.
I don't know, but you know what's
Doesn't taste
actually
very
a
nice,
delicious
Maybe.
a delicious not that eggs are dairy. Well, they're kind of dairy. You have them with milk or around milk, but vodka and milk
product.
Vodka and milk.
Yeah, vodka and milk and I think Kahlua. It's called a White Russian. Well, more or less. They're actually delicious. It's one of my favorite drinks.
Right.
No, it's a real drink. Have you never had it before?
Yeah,
I just
Lebowski.
a lot on RT Crowd.
Oh yeah, well, it's actually delicious.
Right.
So yeah, but that's the only dairy product is milk though. It's not egg. Egg with alcohol would be pretty gross.
Egg with alcohol. I think isn't there a recipe
Eggnog.
for that too? Eggnog. There you go. But is that actually, is that made of eggs? Well, it'd have to be, right?
I don't know.
Isn't the name in it? I've never actually.
Well, maybe not
There's
though.
no
There's a
nog
bunch
in
of
it.
things that are.
What is
What's
nog?
nog? I'd like a cup of delicious nog.
But there's a bunch of stuff you mix with milk. Baileys.
Baileys, yes. Baileys is quite delicious.
Well, you can just
Out
have
of a
Baileys
shoe.
straight. It's already kind of milky.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Well, now that we've extensively covered eggs, what else is going on?
So then lunch came around.
I didn't have any lunch. I just made a late breakfast.
This is like a video version of Instagram.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Just describe your
like-
food.
Well, not all episodes are going to be good, right?
True.
It's
Some are
free,
gonna be
so
awesome.
don't bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all of them are going to be as great as the Matt and Kevin episode from last week. I wonder
Did
what
you watch
I
the
wonder
episode
what's
last
the
week?
factor.
I started watching, but I fell asleep. It was late in the night, though. It had nothing to do with the content.
Well,
Wow.
let's just say it wasn't one of our best. That's fair to
I
say.
see.
Neither of us are invested.
Whatever.
But I understand. Well, when you don't have the Triforce here, it's just not going to work.
Speaking of the Triforce, what about that Reddit article about the guy who wiped his hard drive?
That's an oldie but a goodie, and that's actually 4chan, not Reddit.
4chan.
See where it originated.
What happened?
That's why they were jerks about it.
It's, I don't even remember which Reddit it was in. Basically, some guy came in. It was a troll post, and it's like, new fags can't Triforce. It's quite old. A lot of people would know it. But basically creating the Triforce symbol. I don't know if you know what the Triforce is. Zelda, Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy came in and a whole bunch of trolls attacked him and said, to be able to do this, you need to delete I think it was like a Windows system file or something. So this guy apparently deleted the file. And it's quite long and hard to explain, but more or less it was just this person ended up destroying his dad's computer by deleting a whole bunch of unrestorable files. And yeah, it was quite amusing.
So on the advice of some people who he'd reached out to, they told him to get a big magnet and wipe it over his hard drive, and he did it. And
Well, you got a
he's never
magnet.
heard- yeah.
But
Oh,
again-
I never heard
but
that
You're
again.
talking about deleting the files. I was wondering, is
That's
there
where it
files you
began.
can delete in Windows? Are there files that you can delete in Windows that will wipe your data?
There's one particular file, I can't remember the name exactly, but if you delete this, it essentially it's your boot file. Like your computer won't boot after that point. It'll just it'll be in a perpetual loop.
But couldn't you still get the hard drive and get someone to recover the data on it? Like, I
You
don't
can,
understand how-
but I guess the point of this was that they just went further with it. They weren't sure whether this person was trolling or whether he actually just deleted a sensitive file from his dad's computer. So their next solution was, to basically get a gigantic magnet, take out the hard drive, and run it up and down the hard drive quite a few times, and then that would restore the problem. Obviously, that wouldn't.
How
restore
young
the
was the
problem.
kid?
Honestly, I don't know. And to be honest, I think by the end of it, everyone knew that everyone was trolling, which is 4chan. That's what you do in 4chan.
Yeah.
You troll.
But it was funny because they had screen grabs of the actual conversation. It was
Yeah,
quite
it's
funny.
quite
I only visited 4chan once, so I couldn't figure out how to navigate it. So
4chan is
It's
great.
Just
4chan is probably the old school dark internet equivalent.
I've started to get a bit into Reddit, like not heavily. I still don't even really understand how to use Reddit that much, but I check the front page and the second page to see if anything cool is there. Are we going to do the Reddit thing you suggested the other week?
Yeah, sure. Have we all read through it?
Oh, I read it. I skimmed a bit of it.
Yeah, I skimmed some of it as well. I'm with you. It's not that I don't understand Reddit. I've actually been... I listened to a podcast the other day about with the co-founder of Reddit, and the way it works is they don't actually...
Is it the Joe Rogan one?
Yeah, exactly.
I watched Stephen Manu, by the way.
Yeah.
Moyanu, how you say it.
Molyneux, yeah. He's good. I like him. He's it's not for everybody. You're right. He is very sort of... He seems to... Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And a lot of people say, you know, he's like a mega men's right activist, which I don't really agree with. I don't think that he's exactly like a men's right activist. Like, he definitely has a lot of things to say on that subject, but I wouldn't go and say he's like full, you know, on that field. But yeah, no, it's just more what I love about him is just listening to him and the conversations he has on his own podcast.
Right. A
lot of people call in with issues, their own issues, and the way he actually breaks down their issues and just pretty much brings out the truth for a lot of these people. I haven't
checked his podcast yet. Although he's got some, I don't remember how I associated with men's rights when we were talking. I think I heard something about him during the Etiquette thing, but he's not really a men's rights guy. He's more libertarian, hardcore capitalist, and and non-aggressive parenting is another one.
Yeah, that's one thing he's massively on, about beating your kids is like the completely wrong thing to do.
Or even arguing with them, or yelling at them. Like he's quite doctrinaire about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and he makes a lot of interesting points because there is a completely other way to do it. Like obviously, a lot of parents don't have the time and the ability to have such an in-depth impact on their kids' lives, for work or whatever, or single mothers especially. But yeah, no, he does make a lot of interesting points, and if you can dedicate the time to it, I think it's better off for the children. Ultimately, the child's going to grow into the environment that they were sort of brought up in. Sort of an artist, he's the art isn't responsible for itself. It's the artist that's responsible for the art. Sort of thing. Anyway,
sorry, I sidetracked you. You were listening to a podcast with the Reddit guy, and
so I understand, is the Reddit guy that guy?
No, the Reddit guy is a co-founder. This was something we were talking about.
Oh, I think
so we were talking about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, sorry.
I was interested in the operation of Reddit as well, and every single sort of every single forum is moderated with its own set of rules and everything, so it's not one person that governs the whole thing. It's funny, it came up that Snoop Dogg actually governs one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but it was just something that you just wouldn't picture Snoop being a moderator of. It's quite interesting, yeah. But nothing on there so nothing is saved there. It's always links and stuff. You'll see a lot of stuff linking directly to Imager and things like that. But nothing is actually saved on the website itself. It's just
what about the threads though?
Well, the threads, yeah. So it's a text-based website, and they're not really
right. Yeah, they only link to other content. You can't embed videos or anything.
No, not at all. It's all links to external sites and things like that.
But there's a lot of cool stuff. There's funny images and there's news and stuff. But there's also
I spend all day on our GIFs.
Yeah, I imagine you do. There's also serious answers only, so people have there's a whole community there.
Yeah, the voting system's really good as well. So the community can vote what's good and what's not. You know what I mean? Upvotes and downvotes. I think that's a really clever thing that they've got in there. But it's just something we already know. Reddit works. It's quite good.
But it's good. There's no one people don't get in there just to cause ruckus. Whereas
some people do.
But
it's actually quite civil. It is quite civil there. Yeah. If you go to IMDb, for instance, I don't really go on IMDb boards that much anymore. A little bit, but I used to frequent IMDb quite a bit when I was in my teen years. And such assholes all over the place. And still, whenever I go to most threads on IMDb, sure enough, you ask a simple question, someone's like, you're an idiot. You're like, it's just a question, dude.
Or YouTube, people for no reason.
Yeah,
YouTube's still going bad, though. They've actually tried to refine that. I don't know if you guys ever heard
of
that.
With YouTube, it depends on the kind of videos, I guess. For instance, if you're watching, a video of, let's say a band that is not really mainstream, they just kind of have a niche of fans, it'll just be positivity in the comments.
Yeah.
If you watch...
Yes, yeah, you're right.
If you're watching, though,
Britney Spears or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a great example. Maybe quite a lot of pop artists it probably is. Because I know when I've seen Eminem ones, usually that's universally positive pretty much. So it must be
really?
Wow.
Well, I guess I'd like to see those ones too.
I guess because any artist that has a really hardcore following, they'll probably drown out I don't know, but there is a lot of negativity on YouTube. Put it that way.
To be honest, the only artist I've ever seen on YouTube with perpetually positive comments was John Williamson, and that's just because he's the nicest guy in the whole world. You can't say a bad thing about him.
Aussie guy.
Yeah, of course. Hey, True Blue, he's a genius. I love him.
Comedy, like comedy skits, it's usually nothing but people quoting their favourite bits from it.
Yeah, right. I'm not too sure. Actually.
I think as a rule of thumb, with some exceptions like Eminem, so long as it's niche, not that popular but still quite well known.
Yeah.
All the mega fans get on there and go, yeah, how awesome.
Yeah, true. Oh, recently, not recently, but probably a bit longer now. Google have actually put in they've changed the way the comments work now, so that top comments are automatically more. Ones that are more they have more substance in them are actually pulled to the top automatically now. So you'll find
What if they get more likes with that?
I don't think that's an actual factor anymore, depending on the quality of the comments. Like, say, if the artist posts or someone official posts, that'll be more inclined to be pulled to the top.
Yeah.
Things like that. So you can
actually, if you're connected to Google Plus, it's people that are closer to your circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Get pulled to the top and stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah.
And if there's a whole bunch of stuff as well as keywords that are involved in there, how far they are removed from keywords in the video and things like that.
That's right.
It's quite clever.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked. Should we go to social standards? That was the Reddit
so there was a Reddit thing that we were passing around that was about social etiquette, social
unwritten laws or something like that.
Laws.
Yeah, so I guess to extend on that, just because that probably doesn't mean a lot in itself, but things one that was that kind of rang true to me is when you're hanging out with a friend and they're over at your place and the
first ones,
the age I was like, oh, it's getting late, I got work in the morning. And then if that guy does not immediately get the signal and get up and say, you know what, I gotta go as well, he's a douchebag, he's an asshole, get rid of him.
So I think we all agree on that one.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
One thing though which made me think, a lot of people are probably from New York or something. I've never really experienced this in Sydney. The thing about when you open a door, when someone opens a door for you, you should say thanks or at least give them an acknowledgement. Can you remember the last time that didn't happen when you opened the door?
Exactly.
Yeah,
here I think people are quite polite when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Do you mean in terms of friends, or do you just mean
just random people?
Anyone, if you open the door, thanks, or at least the head nod,
Yeah, that's true. I do it as well. I guess maybe I've found people. There've been the select few that will say thanks, but it feels like it's just for them to have just said that, it's just completely destroyed their next half an hour. They're going to despise you for having to thank you for something that you would have done anyway. I don't know. There's people like that. No, they exist. All right, there's a lot of people like that.
It's not like, hey man, I just want to stop and say I really appreciate you holding it. You have to do that. Just
Can you imagine?
Thanks, man.
I might do that tomorrow. Shake the hands. Thank you. Without you, I would have had to open this door myself. Thank you for saving me this.
It is on that note, though. That is a funny point. It is a quite sort of arbitrary social thing because, is it really hard for people who, if you don't have your hands full, whatever? Why, do you really care if someone holds the door open for you? What does it matter? You just
it's
kind of one of those silly things we just sort of do.
Although I think. Have you ever gotten into that situation there where you open the door for one person and all of a sudden this group of people come in and it's like, no problem. Really, asshole? No, okay.
Yeah. And there's also that little grey area as well where somebody's just maybe 6-7 meters away.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yes.
Right.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Right.
I was going to bring up, because and you're now I'm kind of being annoying to you because you feel like you should need to rush for the door so you don't keep me wait.
But the awkward person behind you is are they gonna get there in time? Do I wait? Do I keep going? How long until it gets awkward?
This is a good point.
Do I look like a stalker?
If you're holding the lift open, there's someone else in the lift. They're like, "Fucking, let's go." And you're like, "Someone's coming." You can't please everybody.
That's true.
No, but that is awkward. Yeah, that point where it's they're just not quite close enough that I definitely should do it, but they're not quite far away that I definitely shouldn't.
You know what I do? I've got a tip for you. This is what I do. I hold it open with my foot and look at my phone or something. So it's it's no trouble for me to hold it open.
But that's still, I guess my rule is, if you turn the corner and they're not behind you, then you close the door and run and hope they don't see that you've closed the door. Yeah.
I think if you're in a hurry,
or if the door closes slowly, you open it all the way. So it's kind of like.
Yes.
I do that. I do that when I'm wearing headphones because then you can never be sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Arbitrary social rules.
Indeed.
What about the revolving doors?
But it's like the roundabout of doors.
What do you mean? What about it?
I don't know. Do they still exist?
Some places.
Yeah.
I've never been
I
too
guess there's no way to
comfortable
get
walking
around
in
that.
it.
You
Just
got-
I feel silly walking through a door like that, especially if you're not suited up and you're walking through one of those doors. It's like, is this a fun house? Is everyone watching me right now?
Revolving doors sort of a placeholder for large corporate buildings before sliding door technology was available.
I
Maybe.
guess so.
Is that it? Yeah.
There's one.
Because I mean, with sliding doors,
they're
they're kind of redundant. Like,
If we have I don't know if we're doing Dumb and Dusted, but that would be a good Dumb and Dusted.
revolving doors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
well, it's just stop talking about it now and just bring it back at the end of the segment. Because we didn't make it. Yeah, okay, good. Forget we said anything about the revolving doors, but if you're wondering what Dumb and Dusted might be, well, keep wondering because it's not official yet, but maybe revolving doors might be making an appearance.
It might.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Sorry.
What else was on that thread?
Oh wow, I can't think of anything
Yeah,
right now.
last week I was
There's
watching
like
TV.
there's a big thing which is if somebody sneezes.
Do you say bless you?
And if
Do an
someone
awkward
does, then
sneeze?
do you say thank you? And like, oh, what about this? You sneeze, no one says bless you, and you still say thank you.
That's just true. I think if you do that, then there's something wrong with you. But no, that is a good point. That one.
Bless you is I can take it or leave it. Someone says bless you, go thanks. What if someone
Time
what if someone sneezes and you say bless you, but then they get into a fit, so it's like
The awkward second
get
sneeze.
or third, fourth, fifth. I mean,
Yeah,
they haven't
true.
been before.
I haven't had that extreme before, but yeah, I'm generally.
Really, you've never had a sneezing fit?
No, I can't say that I actually have. Do you mean it's like 4 or 5 simultaneously? Does that exist? That's not real.
Yeah, I've had that before.
do.
If you get really nasally and there's light and you, it's like it's kind of like
I never understood that. People look at the sun and sneeze.
Yeah, I've never understood that. I've tried it before and I just got blind.
Because otherwise get stuck. Oh no, it does help. Looking into a bright light could be a
Never
sun
helped
bulb or no, don't look at the sun. You should never look at the sun. You look at the light bulb and
Really?
it sets it off and makes sure it doesn't get stuck in there. Which is like,
I'm not sold on that one.
Interesting, yeah. No.
would you prefer to do that or be like,
That one.
okay, all right. I prefer to just sneeze.
I think.
What about,
if you bless somebody once, they got 20 minutes to.
So you have no obligation to bless the awkward second sneeze?
No.
Okay. What about
putting
if
it
you're
out
in like you work in a quiet office and you need to sneeze? What do? Do you let it rip or do you sacrifice the potential brain pressure and hold it in? What would you do?
I think you sneeze, let it out.
Really?
It's
No,
natural.
see,
I
I-
can't hold it against you for sneezing.
I can't do it. I have a big problem with people that sneeze aggressively loud in a quiet environment because
It doesn't
you
need to
don't
be
need
ridiculously like you do it in your
No,
sleep or something.
exactly, yeah. But the ones where they just sound like I don't want to try and replicate it. It's awful.
What sucks is when someone's yawning and they put a little tune in it. You need that. Fucking
Indeed.
Oh yeah, no. yeah.
No.
Or just loud at all. Like a yawn never has to be loud. I think if we created that, like, is that something that humans have made? It's like, oh, I'm making this thing. I might as well. It's like an awkward conversation.
There's different
filler.
types of yawn though.
Is there? I don't know.
Yeah, there is the big one where you just had a really exhausting day and it really you don't have to force it. You're like,
But the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't need to do the noise. Do you need to do the noise?
I think you. I
don't think you have to.
I don't have a big yawn on me at the moment, so I need. I'm putting myself in that place, and yeah, I think you do.
Okay.
I think it kind of comes with a big yawn. I mean, most of the time I yawn, I don't make a sound, but I mean,
I think making the sound is a bit of like relief, but then you kind of tip that out. If you're around people, you're going to annoy people just to get you a little bit of relief.
What if
Like, you
someone?
weigh it out.
Yeah, no, that's true. What if someone sneezes and they're across the room? So like they could probably hear you if you said bless you, but you could probably get away with not doing it.
You know what I do?
you
I just head like I'd just go.
Really?
Oh,
Did
you
they
know-
run there?
I
Because
feel
they're like,
like
is this guy coming on to me? or
And they
something?
go, oh, I felt that.
here's a really basic one, like stupidly basic. It's annoying that anyone doesn't fucking not do this. If you live in an apartment building with thin walls, like after a certain hour, don't play the TV at that ridiculous volume. I used to in the room I used to live in. Seriously, like we'll go through to like 2:33 in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, that's not
Eventually, one day, I just like I need to put up with this. I'm just like, hey, you shouldn't have your TV that loud. Da da da. I felt proud of myself. I turned it down. It was
Did
good.
they say
but
anything back? Because then you
They just
create
turn
tension.
they just turn the volume down because it's like, what's your argument that I should be able to have my TV?
You don't
on
know
this
their
volume
argument.
at
It might be the case that they live alone and they've got some kind of like psychological issues where they can't be in complete silence. You might have then ruined their
Headphones.
entire evening. Well, you don't know. Maybe they can't use headphones. You know what I mean? That person might have then not been able to sleep for that entire evening because they couldn't have the TV of what they're used to, which will comfortably get them to sleep.
That's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah, it might be.
It happens.
Yeah. It's probably not, but it might be a thing.
You know, his parents might be in the other room. They might be nymphomaniacs. They might have reached that age, and the poor person's being traumatized by having to listen to those
Maybe
sounds.
the TV's broken on that one volume setting.
Indeed. And then maybe the only way to turn that TV off is to
Yeah, it's a good point, Chris. Anyway, did you have any other social faux pas? I have one.
I don't like people beeping their horn in their car. Under any circumstance, I don't like that.
That happened to me. Oh, no.
Unless it's a safety thing. If it's like getting someone's attention.
Yeah, well,
But not
look,
out of
Isn't that
spite.
what it's for?
someone that beeps immediately when the light grows green. Like, it's like, give me a chance to accelerate. I always slow right down for those people. If you ever do it, I'm going to slow down.
Even like someone cuts you off, like don't beep and just get on.
Oh,
with
speaking
life.
of that kind of thing, this has only happened to me once, but I did slow down. I don't drive, so it's not in that regards to driving.
Okay.
But I just slowed down specifically because they did a self-checkout line. Someone comes to stand next to your self-checkout because you're almost done, like it's almost free. It's
Yep.
like, as in like, hi, it's like, what? Oh, get that bottle. Put that in the bag. Get them back in the fucking line, man. Like, I'm not done yet. You wait until the scanner's free.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. See, that's one thing I'll always do. I won't put anything up on the thing until it's completely cleared. Doesn't matter if my hands are falling off from weight. I just
Yeah, of
don't
course.
like doing it.
This only happened to me once,
Full
so
size.
it's not like
The checkout and when you're at a
what we were just talking
Woolworths,
about.
Coles, yeah.
You wait till it's empty.
Yeah, I do.
You
I
went
don't-
to that.
I don't want to make
particular
that person in
self-checkout.
front of me
Oh,
uncomfortable
self-checkout.
by
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
my things next to them.
Right,
Right?
yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, to be fair, that's only really happened once, so people in general are good about that.
I thought you meant like the ones with the roller thing.
Oh well, both. I don't do it there either.
I thought you wait till it's completely empty.
I'll wait till they've. I'll
And
wait
then
till
just
the
do it, like,
person
one
in
by
front of
one.
me is free. No. I'll put my stuff. I'll start putting my stuff out once it's empty. Once it's my turn. If it's not my
But you
turn,
put
I'm
the
not
little-
gonna.
You put the barrier.
Yeah,
thing in
see,
there.
I don't like that.
Really?
See, that's I've never really liked that. I don't like it if people start filling stuff after me because it's like, wait 3 minutes, and I extend that same courtesy to other people as well.
That's something that I don't do. As soon as there's like a centimetre, I'm like stacking shit up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not nice. I wouldn't like it if someone did it to me. It Make me want to push that stack right over.
I got to
Leaning
say that
tower of pizza.
I'm always self-check thing.
Yeah.
I don't want people touching my shit.
Have you tried to check out on the self-checkout with a full
trolley?
shop? Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
It's a
It is quite a
nightmarish
small
experience.
place
It's
to-
horrible.
Even when I've got like a half full basket, it's usually like if there's like say some toilet paper or whatever, like a large item, like that. Yeah, you run out of space very quickly.
You run out of space quickly, and then you try and take one of the bags out and put it on. Then it beeps, and all these exclamation marks come on, and then the checkout lady comes up looking at you like you've done something wrong, and it's like, it's all right, don't panic. They're right here. All you need to do is swipe your little thingy and then go about your business. You've got to call that person back about 50 times. Well, I'm exaggerating, probably about 5 or 6 times, and it's just your standard.
What they need to
shop.
work out is that the fruit and veg when you do it on the self-checkout thing and you have to look up the shit yourself.
Yeah, that is.
They can get some kind of barcode or whatever.
And a lot of people could cheat on that as well. It's like, oh yes, this red cabbage is actually this 5 cent.
This
per
gold
kilo.
ingot is actually a grape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, has anybody tried to steal a bit of stuff? I'm
This
a
guy
moral,
always
but
You'll get him.
I mean, how airtight is their security on that kind of thing?
Wouldn't be.
I wouldn't say so. Actually, the other week, I don't know if it was last week, but the week before, there was a malfunction with the
I saw
Woolworths
that.
systems. Yeah, so everything was being scanned at $0 because of some discount, like some promotion. that was
Haha,
happening.
it's not even fraud; it's their fault.
It was
exactly.
their fault, yeah.
Yeah.
No one left the store, I think, with any sort of items for free. But yeah, they had to. It stopped the show for quite a while. I got there just after it happened. Lucky me, but yeah, it was a bit of a chaotic experience.
Was it in
Self-service.
every Coles or was it one? Or?
No, it was Woolworths. It was every single Woolworths.
In Australia?
Ooh,
I
because
reckon
of the
people,
systems.
people would have got free stuff.
Apparently no
Yeah, if
one
it was
actually
Australia,
walked out
why?
with it.
No one in
whole
the
of Australia,
country?
I reckon.
Well, unless it was
So
only
say it's
Sydney.
Woolworths.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, we can't be caught off guard. No one took advantage of that.
Yeah,
we didn't
control.
lose $20,000 in an hour. That didn't happen.
But I would almost certainly guarantee that they'll factor in the fact that people steal stuff from the self-service stuff into there.
Oh, I'm sure it must
Possibly,
have
yeah.
There must be ways to check the system on
I
that.
think there's always a margin. Like back in my youth days, I worked at Woolworths, and I think we had like a margin of $10 or something. So for up or under that, it was usually okay.
You know what,
We'd
fuck
hope
it,
that
I might-
balances out.
I might try it. Just see if it works.
So if you're not here next week,
Well,
Streaming
they're not
live
gonna-
from jail.
They can't
Guys,
throw
don't
they
do
can't
it.
throw you in the slammer for pity
Bro,
pity
sneak
shop
us
or
up.
thing. I mean, I'm not gonna make it a regular thing, but just see if I can get away with like a couple of items, just as a test.
You know this is recording, right?
Yeah.
Just no one watches the show.
What do you mean?
Um,
Everyone's watching always when the authorities involved.
Right,
We
I won't
established last week that
try.
your mate Tony Abbott's watching.
Oh, can I say one thing? This isn't manners, really, but it's just... Well, I suppose it could be manners in the same way as, like, table manners, just, like... unnecessarily bad grammar. If someone goes... You know what I don't like about yous? Oh, don't say yous!
Everything about it, it's horrible. It's substandard.
But when
It's like, I
people
mean, it's
makes
not
you
even like, oh,
stupid.
it's not even like you thought it was right. It's like, no, everyone knows that use isn't the correct, and it's not quicker to say.
The worst is when
Why do
they
you
put
say
the
use?
apostrophe in use. Like that's going to make a
No, but this
difference.
is a
You've
different
already
Oh, someone
missed the
writes
word.
use?
Yeah, so
Ah,
like when
oh,
you
it's
You
worse.
don't write the shit.
why you it says U E I don't know no it's actually no
Why are you apostrophe SE?
why are you apostrophe S
I think,
not even the E it's like
Jeff Fennick or
use.
someone had a book and that was one of the words in the title.
Oh wow was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's artistic.
I've got no problem.
Is it artistic? I don't know. You can call
Is he-
anything
is he,
artistic
like-
these days.
Like, if you're writing a character who speaks like that, that's okay.
Yeah,
but if,
sure.
like, not on your own.
But see, that's
I don't
it's
know.
a reflection of the environment where there's sections where people talk like that. So
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
well,
just stop it, though.
I think we've gotten to a point where every single device we operate now has spell check on it. Just spell the word properly. You've got no fucking excuse.
For me, it's verbal. I don't know anyone wrote use. For me, it's just a verbal thing when people say use.
I've got no problem verbally. People, as long as you can understand what the point someone's trying to say is, I don't care what words
It
they
just
use.
reminds me of
When
a
you
show
write
like
shit, yeah,
Pizza
right.
or like Houses or something. Yes, guys. I don't like it.
Use guys.
Don't do it.
Yeah, nuts. Hate it.
Mm,
Drives me crazy.
it is. It's quite bad. There's a million of social etiquette.
But still,
sort of
if somebody
standards.
talks like really proper, then that can be annoying as well. You're like, stop using all these big words. Like, talk like a normal person.
Like a normal person.
so is the normal person like somebody who's like just uses default words, or is normal
Just
somebody who's proper?
Use words that exist. You know that's I guess that'll work.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
me.
some people. I mean, like, I don't talk fancy, but I happen to have a larger vocabulary than a lot of people, so I use some kind of bigger words sometimes. But I mean, I don't
I've
care
got
if someone doesn't
sometimes
have
to
much of a
confuse people.
vocabulary and they just speak basic. Like, that's fine. And I don't care if someone's got a particular large vocabulary and they always like using really. Because the thing about a really big vocab is that you can use very precise words. Words that are actually really, they technically mean a very specific thing, as opposed to something more broad that most people would use. And so it's just better exact language. But, if it's someone who goes out of their way to try and show they're smart and, like, before they use another word like, no, valedictorianism or whatever, you're like, shut up, douche. But if it's just someone who happens to have a big vocabulary and uses big words a lot,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also a good way to just end conversations as well. If you're sick of talking to this person, just throw a couple of like big words in that you know they're not going to understand, and they'll just agree with you, and conversation over. No one likes to admit they don't know what you're saying.
Why use big words when diminutive ones will suffice?
No, I agree. Like I said before, as long as the point gets across, you just use the most general terms so that everybody can understand, not just the person you're talking to, kind of thing.
I guess. Yeah.
Whereas, like, because the point I'm coming from is like I just mumble and shit, but people understand like the kind of words, and then they form the sentence themselves. You
Yeah.
just get your point across without using these fucking crazy words.
But like, say, okay, here's an example of like it's not a crazy big word, but we had the weekly contrarian. The good thing about the word contrarian, like I could say, argument that isn't popular and right, but contrarian, like, there's one
For
word
example.
that specifically means someone who goes against the grain of what is popular almost just for the sake of doing it.
Yep.
That's like a whole sentence in one word.
Yep.
So, like, that's a kind of example where, like, bigger words,
So
useful.
then, use is the whole sentence of you guys and we're from this area in one word. Use.
No, just you. I don't like the way you act, and
But
you be talking to a group.
But the word you and the slang term use means two different things.
Mm.
It could mean two different educations or two different geographical locations or whatever. It has
It
two
could be a
different
couple of
meanings.
sheep.
See what you did there.
Ah.
Don't fucking say use. It's annoying. Anyway.
Pretty straight from that.
Yeah. How are we going for time? We spent a lot of time on this topic.
Yeah,
But I got to reiterate: if you're writing shit down, take your time to write it properly.
Yeah, exactly. Use spell check.
'Cause
It's there for you. The little red dots at the bottom. That means you're spelling it wrong.
Exactly. And there is something else here which you're going to have to kick this one off because I don't know where you're going with this.
Balloon animals, aren't they great? Actually, I don't have anywhere to go with this. It was a way to put some ink to paper. But it's an interesting topic. How do we feel about balloon animals?
I know you got some pretty strong opinions about this.
Well, have you ever done? Is it strictly comedy that you've done? Have you done any sort of like
Magic and
clown?
stuff?
Like,
No.
anything like that? No?
It's just stand up.
Confusing you with someone else.
I guess balloon animals are sort of.
No, really, I'm
You sure?
confusing. I am. I know someone that does magic. I just can't remember who it is.
James Law.
Who?
James Law.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Virgin Mobile days.
Okay, no.
No, there are some stand-up comedy magic acts. They're few and far between. I mean, most people just do.
Yeah, right.
But are you
Well,
sure
you
you
gotta
definitely haven't done magic before?
Well, I've done some magic trick, not on stage, but I've
Balloon
learned
animals
some
in front of it.
simple magic trick. No, not balloon animals.
Have you ever experimented with balloon animals?
No.
Have you ever received a balloon?
I have, and that's what I was going to say. I guess
Okay.
balloon animals are sort of like one of the first bittersweet things you kind of learn in childhood is that some things are great but only temporary. You know, getting like, oh, sweet, it's a dog, but you know, it's going
In 3 days'
like-
times, it's I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's something you don't want to look at. It's this limp, pathetic thing.
Yeah, you can never really own a balloon animal.
That's true.
You know,
It's never really yours to begin with.
Get one
So what jerks the people that made them?
No, right.
Although
It's
they're
like-
setting kids up for the inevitable.
They're killing you. They're essentially giving you broken dreams.
Hmm.
Like,
Also, if you call yourself a magician and it's just balloon animals, that's not magic. That's just a skill.
well, that's more
That's
being a
time.
clown, is it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Clowning
it's
around.
something clowns do. I'm not sure you'd even.
Just general clown stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure you even
Damn
call
it.
it specifically a clown thing though, because it's not. Doesn't pertain to goofiness. Like it's just tying a
Can be, though.
balloon to look like a.
Could be a specialty clown balloon animal maker.
A Tommy gun.
Oh, what
That's
a great movie.
movie.
So,
I haven't seen it in a long time.
So, do clown colleges actually exist, or is that just is that an actual institute?
Yeah, they do, but they're not really colleges. It's just
Because that's ridiculous. What is it? Do you sit down and like a clown walks in and it's like, okay, today the lecture is going to be on balloon animals.
They
Like,
see,
what's
but it's
going
not. It's
on?
not a college. It's just a. It's like going to an improv class, except it's a full-on improv class that lasts for many days.
So I have a problem with
4
that
days.
name. It implies something completely
Clown
different.
college.
To what
I
it
guess
is.
it's the iteration. The CC Clown College kind of has a ring to it.
Yeah,
But there's not like a campus where they sit down with their books to study with
It's
each
like
other.
there's an age-old professor who's got like a gigantic afro and shit.
Yeah,
he's like
yeah.
he's like 90 years old. Like, today on the agenda, he like tumbles in. He's like, oh my back, can't tumble like I used to.
Yeah.
You know what would be good though for a clown college or whatever? It's the school bus that like drops them off. They're just like this little minivan. There's like 30
Like
of them in
you
there.
know, like they beat for the kids to come outside. It's just it'll be like something, yeah, something ridiculous. That would be quite good. And it's like it's not actually a gigantic bus. It's just like a miniature one, but like 100 kids fit inside it. It's like a little car. It could go on forever. Yeah. So what
Balloon
else?
animals.
Balloon animal.
I've
That's
got
the long
some-
and short of it, I guess.
I've got a strange thought around around balloons. You know, it's someone's birthday and you give them a balloon. It's really just you're giving them a bit of plastic with your breath in it.
That's
It's like,
true.
happy birthday. I don't know what
Do
this.
do you give someone a balloon for their birthday though? I don't know about that. I don't think I've ever given someone a balloon.
Well, there's balloons.
Yeah,
present.
have a balloon, kid.
There's balloons present at parties.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. It is, when you think about it, it's
It's
just
a strange
carbon
concept.
monoxide, isn't it? Yeah, well, unless you got helium. Helium's a whole different party. Yes.
We should do an episode on helium once.
We should.
Did you see Morgan Freeman on Helium on the Tonight Show?
Yeah, who hasn't seen that? It's amazing.
I watched a little bit of. I don't know. It was alright,
Yeah, it was
but it was
quite
a good idea doing it with Morgan Freeman. Like
Yeah,
with
most
people
definitely.
that makes
We
sense.
saw Morgan Freeman just a second ago on Fallon.
Yeah.
Dude's tripped out.
It was.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, it's good.
I was trying.
Enjoyed
Did
it.
you see the article I sent you? I keep forgetting to say reply all, Chris. Sorry you didn't get this, but
No, it's okay. It's not an accident.
I never had to click the reply all button in Google. Like it's just the office I have to do that shit.
It's weird, eh? Because you have to press the more and then the reply all.
Oh, is that why? Okay, sorry.
So you're using Google. So I'm using Outlook, which is you still have to.
Yeah, it's very much much more intuitive for that.
Yeah.
Do prefer Google overall though, but
I get caught out on that all the time as well.
Anyway, did you see the article I sent you toward the end of my workday?
You have to
The one from the New Zealand website about rape culture.
I read that much and that was it.
Okay,
Is this the Weekly Contrarian? Dun, 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 dun.
No, this is a fairly. I mean, like, again, for the umpteenth time, I need to point out to you guys, contrarian, like, it shouldn't be a thing that's just like maybe in the minority opinion, but still kind of defendable. It needs to be like Ian Thorpe wouldn't be gay if he didn't take up from it. It needs to be crazy out there.
Okay.
All right, contrarian is like really within the margins.
I don't know what the topic of this is.
Yeah, this is more like just, you know, feminists wouldn't agree with me, but I'm sure a fair amount of people who would. So, okay, it was back from the old homeland.
New Zealand?
It's in New Zealand. I believe Wellington was the city in question. Could have been Auckland. There were a couple of sexual assaults over like a 24-hour period. Nothing okay with that.
No.
But the point of... because I saw like one of my... a dude person on my Facebook. A dude on my Facebook sort of shared a...
Gym? Was he updating his status?
I'm
going to the gym.
being a bit of a bleeding heart. Anyway, posted like, really good article, and I'm like, click it, because like, as soon as I see like a girl holding a sign saying rape jokes not funny and like looking like this, I'm like, let's see what it's about. And it opened with a trigger warning. I was already kind of annoyed. Like, here we go.
What was the warning?
Just for people who have had sexual assault issues or whatever.
It might be a sensitive article to read.
Is this like a Facebook pop-up thing? What's the warning?
No, trigger warning is it's a new thing in journalism, really propagated by kind of left sensitive bleeding hearts, that before an article it's involving, say, something like sexual assault or child abuse, something that maybe you've experienced. Like,
something sensitive.
If it's traumatic, you might read details about the article and have it come back to you and have like a traumatic event.
And not be able to go to work the next day.
So they have a thing at the start saying, trigger warning for people in this category.
So you have to say yes and then keep reading? Or?
No, you just read it before you read the article. So
just tick this box that you will not sue us.
Is it that kind of thing?
No, I don't think so.
It's just, trigger warning for people who are affected by this. And it's like, well, you already reminded me of the thing by saying that, so I don't... Anyway, it ended up not being about rape jokes. It was just about, rape culture again. And anyway, what happened is over this 24-hour period, 2 women got assaulted. And what the argument of the article was, is that... Because after it happened, people said, this... like, street is too dimly lit. Let's try and get more light on here, or get more, like,
That'll solve the issue, definitely.
Yeah, yes. And they're like...
let's see what they're doing.
And, they said, okay, that's one thing, but, like, the thing is, you keep putting the onus on women, like, to do things to avoid being raped, like, walking with friends, or walking in lit areas, or certain dress and stuff like that. And I don't agree with, like, some of those, but the onus should really be on men to not rape. And it's like, the thing about that point that really annoys me is that you can't exactly disagree with it, because obviously the point, obviously
anyone,
shouldn't rape.
Even someone that doesn't know anything about it will agree with that.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you want to avoid things like this happening, it's kind of a moot point to tell, because I don't think rapists are raping because they just weren't aware it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they were saying, which educate men on what they should...
mess up their brain a little bit.
Yeah, like, they're not...
But what you do is you say, this is the problem, this is, like, the potential fix or whatever, and you apply that to everybody. You don't say, girls do this, guys do this, and it'll fix the problem.
Well, no, that's exactly the other point. No one's arguing the same thing about arsonists. No one's arguing the same thing about general assault, or people shooting each other. No one's saying, we shouldn't look at gun control, or, ways to monitor our buildings to make those so that... The onus should be on the people who light the buildings on fire to not light it on fire. It's like, again, that is true, but, you can't really go to those kind of people and reason with them. And so what they then do is, like, because they're not really suggesting you go to the rapists and say, no, what they're really saying is, don't make that kind of joke, or don't look at a woman's ass, or don't, say something to a woman that could possibly be interpreted as offensive, although she might find it really funny or flattering as well. Just don't take the, It's policing. Really what they're saying is we should police thoughts more, and, really take the onus off of rapists and put it on to like dudes who aren't 110% politically correct all the time. Just modern feminism pissing me off again.
Yeah, but again, I don't think it's not even in this situation you can be applied that way, but it's a thing where you identify the problem. Like, this is the overarching problem, and then everyone works on it. It's not like you blame these people or blame these people. It's like blame society, and now everybody fix this one problem. Like, I don't know.
So, and this
Sure,
is like outside of it. Where did the term rape culture even come from? Why is it a culture, and who's come up with this?
It's like Jezebel, probably somewhere like that, or some ivory
makes
tower
no sense to me
professor.
whatsoever.
Well, the idea of rape culture is that.
Why is it known as a culture?
Well, okay. One of the examples they gave in this article, the place. Actually, the assaults didn't happen there, but one area where a lot of assaults had happened, people refer to it as Rape Alley because it's a place where a lot of rapes happen and known for it. So it's got the nickname Rape Alley, and they say people flippantly calling it Rape Alley is contributing to the problem. That's part of the culture because it's like, oh yeah, that's somewhere that people get raped.
So giving it I understand.
Yeah, sort of and so it's an example or another example I read in this because I got into a safe just a masochistic binge of reading articles that pissed me off afterwards. that music video / song from I know you want it.
That's the first place that I actually discovered this rape culture thing. It was someone that was hating on us for some company that I work for. I don't want to mention, but they were hating on us for supporting that particular line of products. Yeah, and it was directly related to that. And I was too scared to touch that because I was like, it's got the magic word in it, the word that everyone's scared of. So how do I respond to this? And why is it a culture? Made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, they stigmatize. They make you feel guilty for disagreeing with them.
Exactly.
And make you feel like it kind of contributing to rape, which no one wants to
take. Yeah, it's like part of it. I'm like, I'm not a rapist. I don't support this. What is this?
But yeah, that was an example I read in an article, like the Robin Thicke video and lyrics, like, for instance, I know you want it. Well, that's within a very specific context of, like, he's not going up to a woman on the street on the cell phone and dry humping her from the back and saying, I know you want it. It's kind of like, she's already there with her clothes off. It's kind of obvious.
He was very obviously talking about the speaker, you know what I mean? So, that's misinterpretation in my opinion. It could be anything. I know you want this delicious lollipop that I just bought from this local place. I don't know.
Or rape jokes. That's another thing that really gets me. Like, most rape jokes, quote unquote, aren't really jokes about, like, oh, a woman got raped, isn't that funny? Like, a rape joke to me is, like, one of my favourites recently, Why Does Could You Know, the sketch group I watched, they've got this skit where this guy's running a commercial for a grapefruit juice. And the mascot is called the Grapist. And so he, like, punches the wall, he's like, get ready, kids, I'm gonna grape you in the mouth! And, like, the kids are like, whoa! And then, like...
Is this real?
It's a comedy skit.
Okay.
It's a comedy skit. It's a fictional scenario. And the joke in the thing is that they pause it and one of the marketing guys is like, wait, what did that guy just say? And like he's like, he's gonna grape him. He's a rapist. He's gonna grape the kids. That's how it works. And like, don't you think that kind of sounds like what? And he's like he's gonna rape them? He's like, get your mind out of the gutter, like kind of, and it just kind of builds on that.
I have not seen that one.
But I recommend it. The joke has nothing to do with actual like it's all about like a clueless marketing guy. Yeah, but that like that's the point of the joke.
Start to end, that's good because it's like it's the problem and that's the solution for it. But just to take just that one little joke and say that to like somebody on the street, that's not cool. Without the follow up of that was wrong as a joke.
Well, no, you need to see the skit obviously. Like I'm just giving you a synopsis of the skit. But
you couldn't say that when you're talking about like rape jokes. Like that's not.
No, but I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would count that. Like anything that sort of trivializes the subject is now a rape joke.
But that doesn't trivialize it. It proves that it shows that it's wrong.
Well, I mean, it's a light-hearted skit. It's not like you don't walk away either going like, yes, contemplating. Like it's just silliness.
Well, I don't know. I think there's a bit of depth to it.
I think if you saw it, you'd just think it was silly. Again, I'm just giving you
we're
the
not seeing it, so we don't know. Yeah. So this conversation has taken a strange turn, hasn't it?
But I just think like there's other stuff like.
I just think rape culture is a bullshit term.
But
yeah, I mean, I guess I'd need to read up more about it, but I'm inclined to agree just based on that. It's.
What about the way like murder's trivialized and things like that?
Yes, and sensationalized in a certain way. Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with that. But I don't know. I guess it's just a touchy subject. You know what I mean? You never really know what's really right and what's not, because at the end of the day, what it is quite horrifying. Like, it's quite bad. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Don't know.
And again, I don't think any reasonable person really argues that it's not. Like, that's the...
But it is quite well regulated. Like, you're not going to have hideous things in movies or whatever. It's just on whatever skit show you're watching. Like, it wouldn't make it onto some primetime kind of thing.
Well, let's hope not anyway.
Yeah. So what else?
What's our time running at?
I saw something that I want to mention. We've got about 10 minutes.
Alright.
I sent it around. I'm not sure if you got it, but this Darwin low security place.
The title was enough for me.
It's a low security jail where in Darwin, in the Northern Territory of Australia. So the inmates would jump the fence, escape the jail. Someone would pick them up, like a friend or a partner, take them to the pub, and they'd just get drunk. And then in the morning, jump the fence and go back. And they're just doing it for like a year.
But they weren't drunk.
And they had no idea, because they would just go back in. So they had no idea they were breaking out and getting drunk.
So they just decided to return to prison?
Yeah, like every night.
How long are they in for?
I don't know, but it was ongoing. No one had a clue. So they were just out having a great time.
Did the article go into any detail of why they decided not to just try and escape in general?
No. Well,
I would
that's
say,
the thing, because
that's the first thing I think.
the follow-up now, well, they did escape, but then they
just kept going back.
But the resolution on this is that now the police know. And they're like, well, is it actually escape if they came back?
Yeah, if they're here, they technically escaping. Or
so maybe that's what they're doing.
Escape.
Well, should we give them some reward for good behaviour for
Exactly, or does it balance out?
Yeah.
I think if anything, why they'd be going out, why they'd be going back, they're probably being fed well. You know, they've got a place to sleep and things like that. That's what I would say. What it is. A lot of people, I don't know about a lot of people. I haven't been in jail myself, thank God, but I think I've heard that a lot of people that are in there for extended periods of time, they quite like being in jail.
Especially this is a low security one, so
yeah, exactly. When it's in Darwin, I would assume, maybe outside of jail they don't really have a lot of solid foundation in their lives, so that might suit them perfectly. Except every now and then they want to have a drink. Why not?
And if you escape and you're on the run, then you're pretty much fucked until you get caught. But
exactly,
you go back in and then you serve your sin and you get out, like you're back to free.
Yeah, and the worst thing that can happen is you get out and you do it and you get caught and taken back in.
Oh
anyway,
no! Something worse can happen.
Oh, really?
Anybody familiar with Ted Bundy?
The name rings a bell. Yeah,
he's a prolific serial killer.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking of Al Bundy.
Well, okay, here he went to jail for killing multiple women. Escaped, got caught within 24 hours, got back, escaped again later on.
Well.
Very first time he just jumped out of a library window. It was quite low tech. When he was but the second one he chiseled away slowly into the ceiling, crawled to the thing, got inside the warden's apartment, changed clothes, got out. It was a very elaborate thing.
Wow.
Don't want to give him too many props, but it was a pretty elaborate escape. But here's the thing: this time he got away properly because they weren't even aware he was gone until the next morning. Got plenty of much bigger head start on them. Went out and killed again. But here's the thing: he was originally picked up for murders in Colorado, etc., where they don't have the death penalty. Yep. When he went and killed again, he did it in Florida. So when they finally caught him again, went to Old Sparky because he went to the wrong state. So there's something that.
Interesting. I don't know if they'd have any death penalties in Australia though, would they?
No less security.
No, let's hope not.
No.
Jeez.
I'm just saying in general that's a way that breaking out of prison could work worse out for you.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. I don't want to be too judgmental on the topic, but I mean if he broke out and he's killed again, he's probably better off. He probably doesn't really want to live himself. You know what I mean?
No,
someone like that wouldn't probably understand fully what they're doing, or
he didn't give a good goddamn about anybody, and he was actually very intelligent. He's one of the most evil people I've really ever read about. And he kept fighting until the day he was executed to try not get executed. He wanted to live, which makes it all the better that he died. I think that's funny. Cold-blooded murderers. I don't care.
I saw a documentary on this. I don't remember his name even if I didn't want to glorify him. But he was another serial killer was in high security prison, and he escaped a few times through mentalism. He would just talk to people, and then
Tell
they'll be
them
his
to
friend,
open
and
the
he's
gate.
like, yeah, and he's
Oh,
like,
wow.
hey, let me escape, and they're like, okay. And it worked. Yeah,
Wow.
a couple of times, yeah.
That's crazy. That's a bit scary.
There you go.
Huh.
So why do we need natural disaster?
Oh, that's I don't know. That was space filler again. I just think
We
I
don't really
know.
need it. We get a few topics. If there's 3 of us here, we can just...
That's true. Yeah, I was just kind of rattling things down. I don't know. I've always thought, like, we don't necessarily need a natural disaster, but wouldn't it be good to shake things up a little bit around the world? Because everyone's just getting a bit too comfortable, with like nothing really going wrong. So there's always that, like, well, nothing's happening when we do this. Maybe we could do this a little bit more, and before you know it, the world's just turning into something a little.
So there's another massive earthquake in San Francisco next week, and 20,000 people die. We should come back and say congratulations, Chris.
Well,
You got your wish.
I mean, not so impactful on like human death or something like that. Just something. I mean, not fatality.
What about not a natural disaster?
Yeah, natural disaster is the wrong way.
What
to
about
put
like
it.
a natural like?
It's like a
something-
momentous
something
occasion.
Good. Like imagine like
Yeah,
something
exactly right.
unexplainable happened that was great for everybody. I can't think of an example, but
Yeah, like
a mirror.
What if there was a glitch in the banks and everyone's bank account tomorrow had $20 million in there or something? That's not something
would be
that
a
they
disaster.
can control. You don't know.
That'd
It
be
might
horrible.
not be. Well, it
Because
might
there'd
be
be
really
massive
good for some
inflation,
people.
and everything would go, oh yeah, it'll be like, that would cause like
All of a sudden, like,
collapse.
It'd
dogs
change
started raising
life
the
as we
sky.
know it. Like, I think it'd just be interesting to wake up tomorrow morning and have to do something else due to a circumstance.
every
Something that's
vegetable
just
crop
happened.
just sprung up like 2
Yeah,
meters
like
in the whole
gigantic.
world.
Well,
overnight.
that would probably be the same thing as what you just said with the money thing.
Oh, I don't think an oversupply
No,
of
if they-
nutrition would be that bad, because like you just send it to the third world, the stuff you can eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be the logic, but would it happen? I don't know. That's another question.
Well,
altogether.
If that happened, who would take control? Who would be like, all right, this
Yeah,
is...
exactly. See, it could become quite bad there as well.
They need somebody to be like, just
You know
in
what?
case
I think,
this happens.
I think in any
someone-
scenario of something good happening, humans are the blockade, because at the end of the day, we're humans and we're pretty selfish in the way we think.
Yeah, for the most part. But we've also got like altruism as sort of an evolutionary design trait as well. So there's a yin with the yang.
True, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Just
Interesting.
subscribing that everything needs to happen and whatever, like, everything will happen and what you see happens for the reason that was meant for you, kind of thing. So I think in a situation like that, someone will run off and do something great, someone will run off and do something ridiculous with it, and it just depends on how you see it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the way I kind of see things.
I don't know. That's not a personal thought. It'd just be interesting to see, like I said, the world have to operate differently tomorrow based on some sort of momentous occasion that occurs. Whether that's, I don't know, like North Korea and Russia, getting together and deciding, oh, we're going to declare war on the rest of the world. That's not a good thing. I hope that never happens. But wouldn't it be interesting to see what life would become then as a result of that?
Or imagine if like a extraterrestrial being came to Earth, proved himself to be like from out of this galaxy. So everybody in the world is like, oh, that would just unite everybody.
This
Just like
guy.
in a
It
thump.
might.
Imagine.
It might.
It
might
might
cause
it might
massive
cause
dissension.
It absolutely might.
Reagan said that. President Reagan.
Huh.
He had an address. Joe Rogan talks about it sometimes. Where he,
Yeah, right.
like, if there was an alien invasion, we would all band together. It wouldn't be great, but like he
doesn't
said
need
it
to be
more
an
articulately
invasion.
than I did. He wasn't like second guessing himself. I mean, it wouldn't be great or anything, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it be kind of cool in a sense? Like he
I mean,
before
it's getting hot in here.
yeah, it was written in advance, but it had to do with how like an alien invasion would make us come together, so it'd be good to come from it.
Yeah.
Are we done?
It would absolutely unite everything and
I
bind
don't
it
know.
all.
Do you have any contrarian this week? Nothing? No?
No, you guys are supposed to give me that argument, and I'm supposed to.
I'm no good with that.
We do have our Dumb and Dusted, which has been planned for weeks in advance.
Okay, it's old, it's stupid, it's no longer relevant, it's dumb and dusted. Revolving doors. Fucking bollocks.
Yeah, useless. Flies can get in them anytime and go through your building.
It's true.
And if I want to go, like, I could just open the door, but now I have to wait to make sure I don't get my leg cut off and make sure I end at the exact same time.
It uses electricity constantly, so you're just running that shit.
Stupid kids come and play with it.
Yep.
And you're like, kids, get the fuck out of here. It's just a door, but you're getting in the way of it going to work.
Yep.
It's annoying.
It is annoying. And if there's one person on the other side and one person on the other, and you don't know, like, you've got that awkward sort of pass by each other, it's like, do you look up? Do you just act like this is normal?
And also, it's got that button that slows it down, but they don't always slow down at the same speed. So sometimes you do it and then they start to slow down and it stops and then you don't know what the fuck's going on.
You're stuck in
There's
there.
no
It's just
universal
another-
speed system on those things.
And how many stupid cartoons have you seen where they have like a revolving door gag? Like someone runs into it and it goes. And then
I
like,
think
way
Daffy
too
Duck's
many.
done it quite a lot.
yeah, God, it got so old so quick. If there was never any revolving doors, we wouldn't have to worry
Yeah,
about
it's
it
just
being
useless.
rehashed. And
They'll just walk through and just continue with the scene.
oh, how about the other one where like someone's cleaning the gun and it's like when their face is all blackened, they're like. What?
That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Well,
I quite
the
enjoy
first
that one.
time,
It's misleading. That's probably not what would happen if you were cleaning a gun
Dangerous.
and it went off. It's
dangerous.
quite dangerous. About saloon doors, I know it's not quite the same as like revolving doors, but I don't really see a use for saloon doors
Well, at
much
least you
anymore.
can sort of like use your own body weight to open them as opposed to having to use your hand.
It's true, but what if you're not too strong? You know, you're trying to use it the swing back of the springs and like knock you on the ass. And a lot of people are looking.
And
at
again,
laughing.
flies can get straight through.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't get fly screens on those. Can't get fly screens on revolving doors.
That's
Is there
true.
anything good about a revolving door? I can't
Nothing.
think of one thing.
No,
Absolutely
not
dumb.
now that there's sliding doors. Before sliding doors, maybe there was sort of a somewhat half point, but
2014 plus don't need them.
but now, yeah, dumb, dusted, no longer relevant.
Gone.
Indeed.
This show has come to a halt, and everybody out there, thanks for watching. Keep it. Fuck, I can't.
You want to
remember
take
my
it easy.
thing. How about you start this?
Take it easy.
Keep it clean.
I got nothing. Thanks for.